Hi, everybody. This is Nathan Aswell, usually in Vancouver, BC, Canada, but this week I have the good fortune of being in Tampa, Florida. And even though it's unusually cold, I am in for one of the hottest weeks of my life. I am in town for the annual Positive Music Festival, and it is my great, great pleasure to speak with two of my songwriter pals who are part of what I call my tribe, Richard Mekdeci and Sue Riley, who are the masterminds behind the Positive Music Festival, or the Posies, as they are affectionately known to all of us. And I just thought it would be an absolute hoot to spend an hour with them and talk about this whole thing and how it came to be. And here we are. So welcome, Richard and Sue. And we're already getting up to lots of laughter and hijinks. Is it that cold where you are, Richard?
God, it's free. It must be 60 out there.
Yeah,
and windy.
Don't forget that.
And I know, and windy. What is that about? So tell us, guys, how did this? Well, first of all, let's hear a little bit about the both of you. Richard, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your journey as a songwriter, and specifically as a writer of positive music. How did all that start for you?
Awesome. Well, Nathan, I moved to Nashville fresh out of college because I wanted to be a songwriter. Uh-huh. And that's where I got into Unity Church, where I met Karen Taylor Good, Greg Tamblyn, Jana Stanfield, a lot of posse artists who were writing great positive songs that they couldn't pitch to country stations. They couldn't pitch to gospel stations because it was so innocuously positive. It wasn't religious. It was just positive. So when I left Nashville in 1998, I had just started the idea of bringing all these artists together and creating a genre for them, bringing them under one roof. And I moved to Kansas City. And 4 or 5 years later, after I moved to Kansas City, we were able to actually start what began as Eye to Eye Ministries with Kathy G. We have our Kathy G Award. She was the one that helped us get this going. And then it was just a year and a half later that Sue joined us. So we met in the first Posies were in Phoenix, Arizona, and we tagged on to Sue's event at the INTA. And I said, can we have an award show there? And Sue said, yeah. And after our first award show, she just wanted to be part of it. So she's been ever since 05, I guess, right? 05 or 06.
Mm-hmm. So can you tell me?
First, I moved to Nashville with a bunch of love songs. This is the second part of your question. And then I started working at First Church Unity. My first album was just all positive stuff that I could do in church. So every CD I've done, I haven't ever even done a secular album. I got a bunch of old love songs that I never pitched. But once I found Unity, once I discovered positive music, all my writing's been pretty much dedicated to that.
Wonderful.
Sue?
Quick question. What is, before we go to Sue, what does INTA stand for those watching who don't know what that is?
International New Thought Alliance.
Okay. And does that organization continue to exist? Because I've heard mention of them a few times, but I don't really know a lot about them.
Yes, they continue to crawl along, exist. Yeah, they have in July, and Sue's actually a lifetime member.
They're, I believe, longest standing Democratic New Thought across denominations organization that we have.
Okay. All right, Sue, over to you.
Nathan, do you know AGNT?
No, I don't.
The Association of Global, with Ricky Byer, with Michael Beckwith, and that kind of spun off of AGNT.
Okay.
So.
All right. You guys are the center of the New Thought universe as far as I'm concerned, so thanks for the history of all that stuff. So, Sue.
Positive music.
Yeah.
Nathan, well, I answered an ad in the paper to be a music director at a Unity church, which I'd never heard of. I thought it was probably a cult, but I took the job because they were paying me. Mm-hmm. And I discovered that we didn't have any music. This was maybe 25 years ago. I thought, how many weeks in a row do I have to sing Climb Every Mountain? And I thought I would start writing songs. I wrote my first song in 1999, and I brought artists in all the time. So I had Janice Stanfield and David Roth and other touring artists that came through, and they became my mentors. I would watch them and think, I want to do what they are doing. And, when you ask for a teacher, they appear. So I listened. I hope I listened to my teachers and continue to listen to them. And I volunteered for Unity Worldwide Ministries on their music ministry team, which is where I met Richard, and became involved in Eye to Eye Ministries and then Empower Music and Arts, and continue to write songs, love co-writing, and love hosting this event because it's really a beautiful celebration of writers that come together who used to be on parallel tracks around the United States. And it's one of the only events where they can all come together and hang out and celebrate their music and their lives and co-write and write songs. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful tribe of people.
Yes, amen to that. And I'm honored to be one of them. So how did you guys, who supported you in this vision? Who helped you to move this forward? You mentioned someone, Richard, I'm sorry, a few minutes ago, Gail, was it, that started with Eye to Eye?
It was Kathy G who when she came to retreat, she saw me work and she heard posse music, and she had never heard religious music that wasn't filled with, Christian and blood and that kind of stuff. And she just loved it and she said, what would you like to do with this when your job ends? And I told her, this is what I've always been wanting to do. So she helped incorporate and funded the first couple years. But I think who helped move the vision forward would be Russell Brumfield, who joined us. Russell's the one who helped us go from Eye to Eye Ministries to Empower Music and Arts, and kind of help us expand out of just doing strictly church. I wanted to be the voice of the New Thought church movement. And Russell said, we should focus on mainstream. So I think Russell Brumfield, who we're going to honor this weekend, would be the one responsible for really moving us forward in this vision. Would you agree?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Now, I remember when I was part of the first one, when I first started coming in 2007, the week was actually divided into two parts. Or no, I shouldn't say that. The week, it was a week-long event. Half of it was Sound Connections, and half of it was the Posse Music Awards, Music Festival. I can't remember what you called it. Then there was a desire to separate those two events, and even geographically separate those two events. And now they've come back together again. So can you talk a little bit about all that, why that was and how that was, and what the thinking is about bringing them back together again?
Well, it wasn't necessarily that we were trying to separate the two events when we had Sound Connections and the Posse Fest. It was that we both had two different hats on. So Richard was working at Unity Worldwide Ministries. He was the entire sacred music resource department. And I was the music chairperson for the music ministry team for 11 years. So we created the Sound Connections to create the same kind of tribe for the music directors out in the field who didn't know where to go to find music and things like that. And then this is the first year. Last year we kind of brought them together, but they were still not joined together. This year will be the first year that the two events are operating at the same time, and we expect it to just be over the top. So we've completely taken it over.
Yeah, I don't think of it as two events. I think we've expanded the Posse Music Festival now to include church music directors, and we've included a track for church music directors, because without Sound Connections, they really had no yearly convention or conference that they could meet and greet and connect with. So we've kind of just added a track into the Posse Music Festival, and it's just lengthened us by one day longer. We usually start on Friday night. Now we're starting Thursday night. And I just wanted to add, too, that it was Russell Brumfield who said we need to get this thing out of Kansas City and move it into a destination place where people would like to come. So that's one reason we stopped a meeting at Unity Village in Kansas City, Missouri, and
in February. Another good reason.
September, but down here to Florida. So we've been here ever since then too.
Right. And so, can you both speak a little bit about what the track of Sound Connections is? I know, but just for the benefit of those watching who don't know, what the focus is of Sound Connections, what the focus is of the Posses.
Yeah. Oh my God, what have I done? Can you
I
hear me still?
fine. Yes, sir.
I
Don't
got
touch
a lesson. Yeah, it's thank you. Sound
Thank
Connections, when it was a separate event, and it was a conference for New Thought music directors, directors from Unity churches, Unity Science of Mind, Religious Science, CSL, Divine Science, all New Thought music directors to come together and share music. The purpose was that we wanted to create a library, a body of music for New Thought churches, because we were always borrowing from contemporary Christian, changing the words. We were borrowing from pop music, changing the words. All the churches were out of copyright compliance. So the idea was to bring all the music directors together. So we have workshops on how to run a music department, how to start a choir, how to write chants. Sue does a nuts and bolts, nuts and bolts music department stuff, how to put on special events, anything relating to work that a music director at a New Thought church would do. And then we're introducing them to the music that they can use now without having to change. And right now we've got, I guess, a couple thousand songs that are, strictly
with sheet music.
With sheet music for our.
And 10 years ago, the answer, no, there was nothing.
Yeah, 10 years ago it was Carrie Norman, Carl Anthony. There's like 3 or 4 troubadours doing what we're doing now. They're really the originals, but their music was all, the contemporary music that fit our churches. Everything else was borrowed. So our tracks for music directors are tools for music directors for churches.
So that's the focus of Sound Connection. So what would you say about the Posies? What slant would you say the Posies offer?
I think the Posies is an opportunity to come together and celebrate the amazing music that we've created together. Like Richard said, 10 years ago, we didn't have this body of music. And the artists that you see at the Posies were on parallel tracks. They knew each other, but they never got to hang out together. They had never co-written together. And when you put some superstar writers together who used to have publishing deals in the days when, there were publishing deals, and you put two of them together, you won't believe the songs that they write. I mean, they have the power not only to change lives, but I think if people, it has the power to change your reality around you, the world that you live in, if you're listening to positive music. And so the Posies to me is a chance to come together, to nurture each other, to celebrate each other, to write songs together, to sing together, and to just have a group of people that get together once a year and say, you're my family. I'm so glad that you're here.
Well, our original intent is to create a genre and for the Grammys for positive music. And we wanted to, this is what's been ever since day one, and even the Positive Music Association, which started up about the same time as us, maybe a few months, 6 months before us. It's always been about creating a genre, expanding positive music and the audience for these fabulous artists and songwriters out into mainstream, to where we eventually have a genre of music called positive music that is recognized and by the Grammys and given Grammy awards. So we're still trying to push this into mainstream. We have a bigger vision for posi music to be its own genre, like gospel or the only other message driven genre is gospel and Christian music. It's all about the message, about the words, and it's multiple musical genres, but it's the same Christian message. And we're the same way. It's all about our message. It's a message driven genre. So we're the only other category like that, and we're hoping that eventually we'll get recognition. We have one of our judges is actually on the Grammy board for the New Thought category, John Rotz. So we have a connection there. So, it's going to happen at some point, we believe.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, so I think that's all of what you just said. The both of you is a great answer to what makes you continue to do it. I mean, I know firsthand how it's just growing and becoming a bigger and sweeter experience every year. It's been fun for me to see what's happened since 2007, how every year there are more and more people coming. both as fans, people who enjoy the music, and as people who create the music and who bring more and more to the table, more and more different kinds of gifts that make our tribe more and more interesting and varied and widespread, and from many different styles of music, et cetera, et cetera. What are the challenges the two of you face? What's hard about, let's not say hard. What are the challenges about doing this? And how could people watching help us expand this vision?
So you're the challenge expert.
The well-kept secret. I mean, everybody that comes to this event says that it changes their life and they float out of here. But, it's really word of mouth. I mean, you can tell someone, wow, this is really great. And then they think, oh, but I got to fly to Tampa. I have to pay for a hotel. But they don't realize that you're immersing yourself in creativity and positive message, and they don't realize that the value that they're getting out of it until you experience it for the first time. And, and we're musicians, and musicians are the troubadours and not always the ones with the jobs with, paid vacation and, a big bank account. So the hardest part, I think, the biggest challenge is keeping it affordable for everybody and making it so that as many people that want to come can come, and getting the word out about what a really amazing and fun event it is.
There's three of us, and we all have 3 other jobs. So, we don't have the funds coming in that we can all do this full time. So that's probably why it's taken 11 years to get this far, because we're all just chipping away at it little by little. And I think you asked what would be the best thing for us is a big, major artist, we need a posse superstar that'll bring people in, and there are a lot of artists out there that do posse music, and a lot of big artists that mainstream artists that do positive music, just like what we hear all weekend long. But we don't have any nationally known stars here that draw fans, and that would be good. Connecting us with some bigger artists is a great thing, and just using our store, buying the music, and spreading the word.
Or lining up a great sponsor.
Great sponsors are nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So there we are, putting our intention out. May it be heard and received and responded to. Excellent. So let's get down to it, gang. Let's talk about what's happening this year. We're about less than 48 hours away from the opening bell. Just to give people some highlights, talk about the schedule, who's coming, what they can expect for those who have never experienced it.
What can I expect, Sue?
Well, tomorrow we start our 5th Totally Cool Song School, which is where you can be immersed in small classes with amazing teachers and co-create and write and perfect your craft, because songwriting's a craft like anything. If you want to be good at it, you get to still keep working at it. I think
that's a separate event.
It's a pre-event.
So you register for that.
And then Thursday night, we're honoring Reverend David Alt, who is just an amazing, amazing person. It's actually an award through Unity Worldwide Ministries it's called the Grace Note Award for tell me.
Outstanding Achievement in New Thought Music. That's for artists who have, Jana has got one of these for taking New Thought music outside of the churches and, spreading it around to the masses. And David Alt does that he's got a huge mega church in Atlanta, and he travels the world in Vietnam, and, he's taken New Thought music. He's done huge things for us and been a huge supporter of it. So.
And then we have lots of great workshops on Friday and Saturday. Keynotes. David Alt will be doing a keynote Friday morning. Just an aside, besides his music, David Alt has raised money for and created the first ever non-communist school for orphans in Cambodia. And it's just so heartwarming to see his school that he's done. It's a very integral part of his life. He's very committed to it, and he's doing beautiful things. When you're looking for peace, education, of course, is one of the key things, and education and having enough food to eat. So he's an amazing person. So he's getting an award tomorrow, Thursday night at 7. And then he's doing a keynote for the morning, and then workshops. And then our signature event, the Pajama Jam showcases, take place in 11 hotel rooms with different themes. And we all get to wear our jammies. And it's like a pub crawl of New Thought music. And every 20 minutes, the artists change. And I personally think it's the most fun event of the weekend.
The New Thought pub crawl. Yes, you go from room to room, listen to live music, eat great food, drink, and boy, by 2 a.m, everyone's having a wonderful time.
It actually ends at midnight, Richard. I hate to break it to you.
I hate to break. You go to sleep at we're stuck.
That's what it says on the schedule, Sue.
And Saturday we do the same.
Than that.
Basically, Saturday we have workshops again all day, and Saturday night concert is the all of the people who have won or been nominated for Posse Awards who are not nominated this year. The Posse Award nominees who come to the event.
Like you, Nathan.
And you're all on Saturday night. So it's an awesome concert of all top shelf A Posse nominee artists on Saturday night. And then Sunday night, we have the Posse Awards. But before the Posse Awards on Sunday, Faith Lift.
We have a Faith Lift service where we celebrate and do lots of great music together, and we put on church in a hotel. But it's not the church probably that you grew up with. Just saying.
No praise Jesus, even though we do praise Jesus. And then we have the banquet after, our conference banquet Sunday afternoon. We have open mics. Jan is hosting one. David Roth is hosting one, a Namaste Cafe where the music directors can get up and perform and show off. And a lot of song circles where we get 8 or 10 songwriters in a circle and they pass songs around. Lots of opportunities to play, and all of our workshops are either for artists, for fans, or for the music directors. So the artist workshops are how to promote yourself, how to sing, how to write songs. The fan workshops are fun workshops of how to take care of yourself. Karen Drucker, Daniel Nahmad singing their favorite songs, and the music director workshops, we've gone over that. That's forming choirs and associated with church work. So there's always 3 tracks of workshops for people in 3 different areas of the day. Lots to do.
I remember a couple of years ago, shortly after the Posies that year on Facebook, I think, I said, if I could describe it in one sentence, I said, I hardly ate, I hardly slept, and I felt like $1 million at the end of it. That's kind of just, there's just so much to absorb and enjoy. It was just a delicious experience from top to bottom.
I already feel that way, and we haven't felt that way.
Well, you get all the food and sleep you can in the next 48 hours, because I know you won't get much after that, being the hubs in the wheel that you two are.
Oh, yeah.
So actually, on that note, what I want to ask the two of you is, I know that in your hearts, you know that this is what important work. It's something that you both believe in, and we all need to get affirmation. We all need to have moments where people stop and say, thank you for all that you do. It's just made such an enormous difference in my life. And I'm sure there are a million things that come to mind as I ask you that, but I'm wondering if there are any that are really on top for each of you, where you think someone came up to you either at the Posies or afterwards and shared either in person or in a message, some story about the impact of this experience on them. Anything you want to share on that front?
Have you had any personal experience with that? I've had a lot of people tell me that they take Posse music into the operating room with them when they're sick. They listen to songs to help them get better. It's really about listening to music that you love, but with a positive message, and not what Greg Tamblyn calls whiny victim love songs that are all about victim and she broke my heart and my poor baby and those kind of songs, which is 95% of what you hear on the radio. We put out messages of empowerment, of healing and wholeness, of unity. And also our social action and justice category is all about getting off your butt and getting out there and doing stuff of fairness and what do we call it? Ecology. So it's all about those positive and empowering topics. So you can listen to music and learn, listen to music and heal, listen to the music and feel closer to your brother or sister, that kind of thing. It's like the 60s all over again, except without protest songs. We're not anti anything.
Yeah. And Sue, anything come to mind for you? Moments where people have acknowledged their...
I agree with everything that Richard said. A lot of people that are grateful, that they have a space to come together, especially for the music directors. They often thought they were the only ones out there. So it's a group, it's a tribe, it's a family. And so I think there's a lot of people that come up, like Richard said, and that are grateful for the opportunity and for the work that goes in. It's an enormous amount of work, my bad. Enormous. The same. Look at my circles under my eyes.
You can see mine now.
Now, this event is happening. Sorry, I missed that. The audio got a little funky. Can you just repeat what you just said, the last thing?
Oh, I just took my glasses off and said, look at my dark circles. I should have worn my shades.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Richard, you're in Virginia now, right?
Yeah, Virginia Beach.
Okay.
Any town with beach title is.
And Sue, you're in Clearwater, Florida.
I'm in Florida, not necessarily Clearwater, but
The phones are ringing.
Okay. And so the two of you, obviously spend a lot of time on the phone or on Skype or whatever, dealing with details of all this. And you also have a third person in with you at Empower, which is Russ Hammock, right?
Yes.
Russ and Russell Brumfield and Sue are all here. And I've been in Kansas City, Virginia Beach. So I'm always the one kind of I feel alone. I feel alone out there. You guys are down here together. But we make it work.
Yeah, indeed you do. So what's, I think we've sort of touched on this earlier, but let's kind of just set our intention again more clearly. What's coming? We want to be a Grammy category. What else? We want to move from Tampa. How many people would we like to have attending? Just anything and everything. Let's state our intentions. Let's put them out there.
All right. Well, this weekend's going to be focused a lot on our online radio station. We feel like we can reach millions. You can reach millions of people with online radio. And we have a great station manager, Tom Averna, and a great station and mobile apps where people can just touch their phone and hear 24/7 Posi music by Jana, by all of our artists and more, and new artists too that are coming in and sending songs. So we're going to be really promoting that, wanting to get people to really build that up and have artists do shows and do promos for us. And if you wanted to put your show on the radio station too, all kinds of plans to really boost our Empower Positive Radio this weekend. And I'd like to have 400 people registered. We usually get a couple hundred registered, and we get 400 people at the evening concerts. But I'd like to double that. I'm really hoping to double that.
Wonderful.
Ditto.
Excellent.
And then, we want to sell all of these guys. We want to sell thousands of CDs every month through our store. We want to be the Amazon, the one go-to place for positive music. We have a great superstore. It's got sheet music and 99-cent downloads, and everybody's CD $1.29 downloads. I guess it's mine that are 99 cents.
Yours are $1.29 also.
And songbooks, and it's a great place to go. You can see all of the artists' profiles there and stuff. So, building up a website, and basically, I would just like to get us into more into mainstream. One thing I've been wanting ever since day one is to have the Posi Awards broadcast, on some cable station or main station, like so many other shows are. So we strive every year to really put a nice tight show and have it videoed. If we ever get a really good video and a really tight show to sell to cable stations and broadcast the Posse Awards, over cable or network, that would be another big step. Something I would like to see in the future. Something we can set our intention for.
Beautiful, wonderful.
I'd like for us all to have 1,000 salaries. Okay.
Sorry, you'd like us all to have full-time salaries? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah,
Amen to that.
I'd love to do it time, wouldn't you, Sue?
Yes.
See all you did?
Yeah.
It'd be fun. And we do Pozzapalooza concerts. 300 Pozzapalooza concerts.
Yeah.
Tell
us more about those concerts. Where are they and how, just tell us about the concert series.
Everywhere.
Well, we've done about 300 of them, as Richard said, around the U.S. and Canada. And we take, there's 4 artists usually, and we go and we do like 3 shows in one area within a 2-hour drive. And it's a musical conversation. In other words, it's not a scripted show. In theory, each person works off the thread of the song before. So it's very spontaneous with lots of magical moments as everybody jumps in and harmonizes. And it's just impromptu and joyful. And, we usually go back each year to the places we've done it before. We have cycles. That's not what that's called. What's it called? Places that we go each year anyway. Repeat performances. That's what I want.
And every time we come back, we try to bring and introduce new Posse artists to the congregation so that they get to know everybody. And it's kind of based on the old, Nashville has this unique format called the song round robin song circle, where all the artists are on stage together. It's not like someone warms up and then there's the next act and the next act. We're all up there together and we pass songs around. It's a format that I saw a lot in Nashville. Of course, Janet knows too, at the Bluebird Cafe and things like that, where they would get in circles and these great songwriters would pass songs around. So this is the format we use for Pozzapaloozas, and a lot of great stories come out of it. And we jump in and sing. We have a lot of fun stuff.
Wonderful. Well, we would be remiss, wouldn't we, if we spent an hour talking about Posse music and didn't share some. So is Glenn, I saw Glenn lurking around before we started recording. Is he still around?
Then he's gone.
That was his stomach gurgling that you heard.
Okay.
Now we've all just.
What happened to Melinda? She's in
the hallway.
Oh, she's in the hallway.
Well, if there's anybody, including the two of you, if there's anybody that would want to do something with a guitar or even a cappella, just give people a little taste of what we will be experiencing all weekend. That would be great.
Let's see. What can we sing, Marco? Do you have a guitar? We do have a guitar in the room. We just need a song request. Nathan, why don't you do a song?
Well, actually, I've got an even better idea. Sitting 5 feet away from me is the lovely and talented Janice Stanfield. So I think maybe we could get her in on the conversation and perhaps get her to play a little something. No? Oh, she's giving me the big head shake. But she is going to come and join us. And here, have a seat. Take one ear.
Wonderful or something?
Hello, my friends.
Hi, Jana.
Hi, Jana. We can't see you, but we hear your voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Jana, I would like it if you could please give some comments about what being a part of the Posses has been like for you, and do you have any words of love and appreciation for these two fine folks?
I think it would have been like playing bluegrass music on, every 2 millionth porch. And never knowing that there were other bluegrass players, because it didn't have a name. You didn't know what it was. You just played a lot of banjo and sang with a twang. But because we now have the Posse Music Festival, it gave us a name. Oh, it's bluegrass. Oh, it's Posse music. And I so look forward to us having our awards show as part of the Grammys and have a Grammy Award for Posi Music because of you two.
Nice.
Thanks, Janet.
Well, there you go.
Jana's been, she was the very Posi Award Janet took home too.
Yeah.
Well, there were only 4 artists.
We had this 8x8 stage with tree lights and extension cords running up with the lights plugged into them. And, we were sitting like a foot away from the stage, and there's about 30 of us in the audience. That was the very first one. It was in July. It was 110 degrees outside in Phoenix, Arizona.
And it was a lot easier to win the first one when there were only so few other artists. Odds were that all 4 of us would win something.
Darren Taylor Good, he had a lot of great artists in that first year. Doggone. We had to really choose from the people who were at the INTA, so we were basically our criteria.
So did you have to choose from the people who were willing to pay to be there at the award show? You had to take your nominees from that.
Yeah.
We have tweaked our process, let's just say. I think we submitted all the
we could do a Harold Payne song. Are we signing? We should probably end with a song. We don't have to do a song unless you're the boss.
Let me see if my guitar is in tune. Hold on. It just came from the Philippines.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought it would be fun to do a little bit of something while we're together.
Maybe you'll play it.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I cannot do all the good. It might be drafty.
Is that Janet going to do one?
Oh. What did you say?
Yeah, we could do a little bit of one.
I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. Other part? I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good I can do. Your turn. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good I can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. Yeah. There we go.
I see little face jumping up there and everything. Wow.
Nathan is in good form since he's been practicing 67 pieces of music to be playing with other people.
Yeah.
You always wanted to be popular.
Yes, indeed.
Popular. Nathan Oswald is popular. Popular.
Yeah. All right. Richard, have you got one?
Oh, I was just going to do a Harold Payne song, Something Wonderful, because, it won a Posi Award, and it's a great positive affirmation. And it's just a chant, so we don't have to sit through a whole 4-minute song. We can just do a little bit of it. You ready, Sue? Sue loves to sing this one. Ooh. Come on, you can do it. It's something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Yeah, something wonderful. Ooh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body.
feel it in my body.
I can feel it in my soul.
Feel it in my soul.
I can feel it in my heart.
Feel it in my heart.
Won't let go. Join us, Angie. Whoa, something wonderful. Ooh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. It's called the Positive Music Festival. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. It could be happening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Something wonderful.
Beautiful.
Oh, the
Thank you,
crowd
brother.
goes crazy. I heard them applauding all the way from the other room.
Ah.
Wonderful.
Mm.
How did
Well,
that sound?
it sounded
Janet-
great.
Okay, good.
Mm.
Not that I need to.
So,
we're getting punchy on this end.
Hey, I see in the comment section that we have Ann Pogue in the house.
Yep.
And I'm wondering, is Ann Pogue going to be with us at
Yes,
the Posies
yes.
this? Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right. Because that would not work. if
Hey,
she was
I have
not there.
Tonight. This
Yes.
year, we're actually going to be posting on the Empower Facebook page, blow by blow or play by play. We decided to call play by play. Of the evening of the Posse Awards, we're going to be taking video, and then after every award, we're going to post videos of the winners' performances, like 15 or 20-second clip. Take pictures of them with their, trophies and stuff backstage, and post that all. So it's kind of real time, but it's going to be maybe 15 to 20 minutes after it actually happens. But if you go to the Empower Facebook, you'll be able to watch the Posse Award play by play.
Wow.
That's great.
Wow.
So that was the next question I wanted to ask the both of you is what, in the replay of this show, I will put all of the links that you would like me to put underneath the link for this video so that people can learn more about the Posse. So obviously I'm going to put empowerma.com. I'll also put each of your personal websites if you'd so choose. And what else should I put on there? Your Facebook page, the Empower Facebook page?
Melinda, come say hi. Well, yeah, what is our Empower Facebook page? This is Empower.
Hello.
Melinda
It's
from
another little photo
Melinda.
bomb.
Yay! She's from
Oh,
Melinda is an honorable
One of the-
mention this year, although she writes fabulous music and is an awesome singer. She will be on the big stage Friday night and directing our choir Friday and Saturday, and the choir is going to be opening the Posse Awards under the direction of Melinda Wood Allen.
Oh my
Very
gosh.
wonderful.
I hope you're going to do the song you two wrote at Sloane's house. Waiting. Is that what
Ready
it's
to
called?
receive?
Yes, no.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we are.
The
Don't
choir's
listen to
not going,
Richard.
but Sloan and Sue and I
Oh,
are.
yeah, that's what she meant to question.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Wonderful. That's great.
What night are you doing that?
Friday night.
Saturday.
Friday.
Excellent.
No, sorry, I'm sorry.
Leave on Friday.
It's Friday.
The choir on Saturday.
And so it begins.
The chaos.
I've already
The-
forgotten
the-
what hotel we're
between the two of you. So getting back to the websites that I'm happy to promote, are those the four? The Empower site, the Facebook Empower site, and each of your own personal sites?
Yes.
And,
yes.
and Empower Positive Radio. I mean, it goes from our homepage. You can click on Empower Positive Radio to listen. You can download the mobile app, of course. And then we have
Okay.
a Facebook page. I have a Twitter,
Yeah.
but I don't know what that is. It's a hashtag something.
We have a social media, a 20-year-old that actually knows how to operate the social media. We create the content.
Perfect. That's all as it should be. Well, is there anything that I haven't asked the two of you that you would like to comment on or would like to say before we bring this wonderful experience to a close?
We're just grateful for you, Nathan. Thank you for being part of our tribe and for doing all you can like this to help promote the music that we create together. And you're going to be just thrilled with our healing CD, which is we're debuting in a couple days, and there's a song by each of you on it, and Richard and I and Melinda, and called Infinite Surface of the Heart, and it's really extraordinary. And thank you for all the beautiful contributions that both of you made to that, and that you make to this whole experience. And we're looking forward to actually seeing you instead of just your icon on the screen, which is what we're seeing now.
Thank you, sir. And you know what? I'm glad that the both of you are bringing up those CDs. Can we just talk a little about how many CDs like that have been created? Now, specifically, this is a group of artists that are chosen from the tribe who come together for approximately a week to write about a specific theme. So I know there's been a Christmas CD. I know there's been a healing CD. Have there been others? I think there have been others.
Those are the only 2 CDs we've created.
Prosper Power.
Yeah, Prosper Power was our first one. They're pro-member writing retreats. And, maybe 10 to 12 people come together, and they're themed. So we've done the Christmas one, More Than a Season, and then the healing one, Infinite Surface of the Heart. And Prosper Power, which was our first one, like Richie said. And then we have done a congregational writing retreat with some great songs for the holidays that is difficult to find music for, like Memorial Day, 4th of July, Easter, the holidays. And really, we haven't done the CD for that yet, but there's some really, truly extraordinary songs that were written last summer in Virginia on that. It takes us about a year to pull together the CD after we write the songs. First, we have to learn them. You write them, then you learn them, and then you can perform them.
And we plan to do one for all of the categories. So we've got uniting, healing, personal transformation songs. What are the other? Social action and justice, music that matters, kind of general positive songs. So we're going to have a series. We're really proud of these. They're really awesome. All of them are awesome, and the songs are original and exclusive to those CDs. And those CDs and our 11 compilation Posse Award CDs are kind of make up our little record label.
Fantastic.
Small but mighty.
Hey, you guys, what if we used? Do you have any plans yet? Do you have any plans yet for how we're going to get the Grammy category? Because here's one idea, one free idea, the kind that spew out of my mouth, if anyone will let me talk for a little bit. But what if we made this the time to ask every artist to ask all of their friends and family and supporters to start lobbying and doing whatever we need to do? If we just find out what we need to do to get a Grammy category and how many people we have to have supporting us, we could create that from this posse. What's the chance we could do that?
Well, I've talked to John Rotz about it. He told me that when genres like heavy metal, bluegrass, heavy metal used to be in the rock category, bluegrass used to be in the country category, and the bluegrass artist says, hey, listen, we're not country. We're different than country, and we do this, and we do it this way, and we do this way. Heavy metal said, we're not rock and roll. We're heavy metal. We have our own genre. So we have to distinguish ourselves in some way from gospel music and from just regular pop music, and and say, and there's no other genre. What did you say?
Or new age music. We're different than gospel music, new age music, and pop music.
New age is traditionally instrumental. I don't know new age music, and we're message-driven genre, so we wouldn't be in the new age category at all. But a lot of times we're mistaken for Christian or gospel. It's the only religious genre there is. So when they hear us talk about personal empowerment and unity and oneness, they think they'll throw us into the gospel or Christian category. But we need to distinguish ourselves from. We're definitely not gospel, and we need for the Christian and gospel people to say, hey, they are not gospel. And that's what country did. Country said bluegrass is not country. And once they did that, then they were able to have a distinguished category for themselves. So I don't know how to do that. I'm just a lowly music director now, but we're open to ideas from the mouth of Jana.
Oh, well, you know, I'd be asking Scott Johnson because he tried to do this a long time ago with the Positive Music Association. So maybe he knows something more than we do.
Yeah.
Oh, we've had a
and-
nice relation. And I picked his Scott. I picked his brain, you know, and you know, so yeah.
And combined with some other things that we said earlier, Jenna, that you didn't hear, we've now added this to the list of making intentions. We were just saying out loud what our intentions are, where we would like to see this go, and how we'd like to see it grow. So.
We have some artists who have some great connections. Harold Payne, you know, he knows Paul Williams. We have artists who have had songs cut by big stars. You know, we're one degree of separation from a lot of major artists that could come in and if they knew what we were doing, to come in and give us some higher profile of visibility. You know, so we do have people that know artists, you know, in our tribe that will try to get through. But I think that's our shortest route.
You know, I would love to be one of the Posse Music winners on the Grammy stage. I just hope it doesn't take so long that I'm like Betty White on Saturday Night Live.
Ladies and
Thank you, Jenna. Well, thank you, dear friends. It was a pleasure to spend an hour with you, and I look forward to spending several days of lots of music and not enough sleep, and just the madness and grace and fun and sweetness that it all is. So,
thanks, Nathan. Thanks, Jana. See you soon.
Bye,
and very shortly, I will send you guys a link to the show so that you can put it on the Empower site or do with it whatever you'd like, and I will include those links as well to the websites we mentioned. So, love and blessings to you both. Thank you all for watching. My name is Nathan Aswell. This is Small Steps, Big Life, and it was my great pleasure this week to speak with my friends Sue Riley and Richard Mekdeci, the hearts and minds behind the Empower Music Festival, which is about to happen in Tampa, Florida. You can get more information on the links that will come with this video, or you can just go. What's that?
There's still time to sign up, and you can come to concerts.
Yes, exactly. There's still room, so come on down. empowerma.com will give you all the information that you're looking for. Hope to see you there. All right. Love and blessings.
Bye, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Signing off now. Hey, it's Melinda Hand.